Hello future CA. Welcome back to my channel again, your one-stop guide for everything related to CA exam. So if you are appearing for the CA Inter September 26, that is the income tax law exam, then this video is extremely important for you. So the ICAI BOS has shared several crucial exam related guidance for this subject. So these guidance include important topics such as which Finance Act is applicable, important ICAI resources you should use for the exam, section-wise weightages, time management strategy, answer presentation tips, common mistakes committed by the students in the past exams and much more. So make sure you watch this video till the end because these simple strategies can significantly improve your score. So guys, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe for more CA exam related videos, tips and guidance. So the first point discussed in this webinar was the applicable law for the September 26 exam. So for the CA Inter September 26 exam, you must study from the Income Tax Act as amended by the Finance Act 2025. And the relevant assessment year is 26-27. Apart from this, the amendments, notifications and circulars are also applicable. So the cutoff date for notification and circular is 28th February 2026. Any amendment after this date is not applicable for your September 26 exam. Also, these amendments, notification and circular will be available in the form of statutory update. And you can download this statutory update from the ICAI BOS Knowledge Portal. So this document is extremely important for your final revision. So ensure you download this statutory update. So the next important point discussed in the webinar was the ICAI publications that you should not miss. So the BOS highlighted several important publications. So the first one is the revision test paper. So attempt the revision test paper after completing study material, case scenario booklet and the model test paper. So solve the RTP honestly without referring to the answer. This helps you to evaluate your preparation. So after you solve your revision test paper, you have to match your answer with the suggested answers in the revision test paper and you have to check what errors you have done. So this way you will be able to assess your performance. Next important resource from which you should study is the case scenario booklet. So as we are aware that 30% marks will be from the MCQ part and mostly the MCQ will be case scenario MCQ. So this income tax law is 50 marks paper. So in that 15 marks will be case scenario based MCQ and balance 35 is for descriptive part. So this case scenario booklet is specially designed to improve your MCQ solving ability. Hence don't ignore this booklet. Next we have the model test paper. So ICAI has released multiple model test paper. So attempt it under actual exam condition. That is, try to attempt the paper within 3 hours. Utilize the 15 minutes reading time properly. And don't look at the solutions while solving your answers. And after you complete the model test paper, assess your answer. That is, compare your answer with the suggested answer and check what error you have done. Identify the errors and make note of it. Highlight your weak areas and revise those errors before the examination. So this is one of the most effective revision techniques. And also Saransh is also available for revision. So ICAI has made available Saransh, which is a concise and colorful summary of every chapter in the form of flowcharts, tables, summary notes. So you can use it for last minute revision. So this will save a lot of time before your exam. The next important point discussed in the webinar was the section-wise weightages. So this is very important from the exam viewpoint. So section number 1. This comprises of the following chapter: basic concepts, residential status and scope of total income. And the weightage for this is 10% to 20%. And the marks allotted for this section is 6 marks to 8 marks. So this is a scoring area. Do not ignore this section. Next we have section 2, which has different heads of income. And the percentage allocated for this is 25% to 30%. That is 14 marks to 18 marks is allocated for this. So this section is actually the backbone of the entire subject. So the topics under this are different heads of income, that is salary, house property, profits and gains from business and profession, capital gains and other sources. So without understanding these chapters, even residential status and total income become difficult. So don't ignore this section. This is very important section. Then we have section 3. So the expected weightage for this is 15% to 20%, and the marks allotted for this section are 8 marks to 12 marks. And the chapters under this is clubbing, set off and carry forward, deductions from the gross total income. So questions are generally application based. So focus on understanding the concepts instead of memorization. Now we'll see the section number 4. So this comprises of chapters like advanced tax, return filing, TDS and other compliance provisions. And the expected weightage is 15% to 20%, and the marks are 8 marks to 12 marks. So this is another high scoring section. Ensure you learn the due dates, threshold limits, tax rates, time limits, etc. So these areas can help you to fetch easy marks. Now coming to section 5. This is the most important section and comprises the highest weightage. The weightage is 20% to 25% and marks are 15 marks. And the chapter here is income tax liability, computation and optimization. And also note that the first compulsory question will be from this section itself. So basically you will be asked a question where you will be asked to compute the income tax liability or the income chargeable to tax, or they might ask you to compute like income tax under both the regime, that is the tax payable under both the regimes, and you might be asked to give a suggestion as to which regime is optimal for the assessee. So this type of questions might come from this section. So the next point discussed in the webinar was smart revision strategy, that is the BOS faculty suggested a practical revision approach. So when you're studying for the first time, you have to study in the order that is given in the textbook itself. However, when you're revising, instead of revising difficult chapter, first revise the following easy chapter, that is basic concepts, clubbing, deduction, advanced tax, return filing. These chapters carry substantial marks and these can be revised quickly. And this will help you to build your confidence. Once your confidence is built, then next move to the larger chapters like heads of income. So this approach reduces exam stress and increases confidence. So especially one day before the exam, you can revise in this order. So the next topic discussed in the webinar was how to attempt the paper. So one of the biggest reasons students lose mark is poor presentation. So for computation question, so if they have given you to compute the total income chargeable to tax or to compute the tax liability, always ensure you follow this order. First compute the income from salary, income from house property, then PGBP, then capital gains and other sources. Don't mix the heads randomly. Maintain proper presentation. And also whenever you make any adjustment, always mention the reason. For example, instead of writing simply or disallowing an expense, write why the expense has been disallowed, or if anything is allowed, you should write clearly as to why you are allowing it. So this will help the examiner to give you stepwise marking. So there is marks for every step, every note, every assumption that you write. Also underline the important keywords. It will help to improve the readability. Mention section numbers only if you are confident. Never write incorrect section number. If you don't know the section number, write the provision. That is more important. However, for certain chapters like TDS, deductions and PGBP, it is very important that you write the correct section number also. So when you are studying itself, make notes for these chapters, write the section numbers and write the provisions and learn them from now itself, so that you can quote it at the relevant places in the exam. And if there is any ambiguity in the question which requires you to make assumption, and without making assumption you can't go ahead with solving the question, please write that assumption carefully so that the examiner will get aware as to based on which assumption you are solving the question. The next important point discussed in the webinar was the time management strategy. So you have to manage your time strictly according to marks. So don't spend extra time on one difficult question. If you don't know the answer, leave some space for that and go ahead and come back later. And one more thing is you have to do the optimal utilization of 15 minutes reading time. So break this 15 minutes into 5, 5 and 5. So in the first 5 minutes, read the question paper carefully. And then the next 5 minutes, you will decide as to which question you will attempt and one option will be there, right? So one which you will not attempt, that you will decide. Then in the last 5 minutes, plan your sequence of writing. So whichever answer you know the best, write that answer first. This helps to avoid panic during the exam. And one more important thing is, if one question has 3 sub-questions, it is important to answer all the 3 sub-parts at one place itself. So suppose you are answering question number 2. There are 3 sub-parts A, B and C. You know the answer to sub-part A and C. You don't know the answer to sub-part B. So what you can do is write 2A and then solve 2C and then write 2B and leave one page for 2B. 1 or 2 pages, how much ever you estimate. And then come back later on and write. It shouldn't happen that you are solving 2A, then 3B, then 3C, then 4B. Like that, don't merge the subsections. Ensure all the subsections are answered at one place itself. So the next important point discussed in the webinar was commonly committed errors by the students in the past exam. So please go through this thoroughly and ensure you do not commit these errors in your exam. So first error is ignoring the ICI publications. Ensure you go through the ICI study material, RTP, MTP, model test paper, Saransh, etc. And writing unnecessary calculation in your exam. Ensure you answer as per the marks allotted to the question. Next error is not reading the requirement of the question. So read the question carefully and answer what is required in the question. If the question is asking to compute the income tax liability, you should not stop just at computing the income. So read what the question is asking carefully. Next error is forgetting default versus optional tax regime differences. So in the question, sometimes you might be asked to compare default regime and optional tax regime and give your answer as to which regime is optimal. Also ensure you remember the differences. The next mistake is poor answer presentation. So ensure you present the answer as we discussed above. Write the sections correctly, write the provisions correctly. For descriptive question, give the correct reasoning as to why an expense is allowed or disallowed. And write every note, every adjustment, every assumptions correctly. The next common error is missing reasons for adjustment. That is, as I mentioned earlier, if you are adding anything, deducting anything, write properly as to why you are doing it. Then wrong assumption. So if there is scope of assumption in the question, only then you can take the assumption. So it doesn't mean in every question you will take the assumption. It's not like that. Only when there is ambiguity in the question. That is, the question misses any significant information because of which you are unable to proceed with solving the question. Only that time you can take the assumption and mention the assumption correctly. And the next error is splitting parts of the same question at different places. So this we have already discussed. All subparts should be at same place. Then the next error is excessive overwriting. So don't write something, scratch that, write again, scratch that. So this won't give a good impression in the eyes of the examiner. Next is spending too much time on one question. So if you don't know the answer to a question, as I said earlier, leave some space. And after finishing the entire paper, you can come back and write later. Don't get stuck in one question itself. So avoiding these mistakes alone can improve your score significantly. So the next important point discussed in the webinar was, so the BOS faculty emphasized that you have to practice sufficiently for the exam. That is practicing, that is written practice is the real game changer. So ensure you go through the study material, test your knowledge, illustration, case scenario, RTP, MTP, previous year paper, etc. So ensure you practice questions from all of this. And also first complete all these sources. Don't keep looking for new study material, new resources to study. So there is no need to keep searching for endless reference book. So first you have to complete the ICI resources properly. So quality practice is far more important than quantity. So some final key takeaways. So study the Income Tax Act as amended by the Finance Act 2025. Download and revise the statutory updates. Complete the case scenario booklet RTP MTP. Focus on chapters with the highest weightages. However, do not ignore any chapter from the syllabus. Study all the chapters from the syllabus. Practice under examination condition. Improve your answer presentation. Avoid common mistake. Revise smartly instead of studying randomly. So following these BOS recommendations can make a significant difference in your September 26 attempt result. I hope you found this BOS fortnightly webinar summary useful and informative. If you found it useful, please like the video, share it with your friends who are preparing for the CA Inter exams, and also subscribe to the channel for more CA related updates, revision strategy, exam guidance and much more. All the very best for your exams. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you all in the next video.